This is our job, is to get prepared for this game. What happened in the past, and we'll learn from our mistakes. We'll get better from the things that we did well. But yeah, I mean, I'd be lying to say if I would be like, oh, if this would have just happened or that would have just happened every once in a while. It's not, but we're not dwelling on it.
What are the lasting lessons from that game that have influenced how you'll play this year?
I don't think, again, you use every game that you're involved in to get better, and we wouldn't be doing our job as if that game, the mistakes or the things that we did well from that game didn't influence us for our future, or any game for that matter. If that did more for, what I mean is, if we only used that game to develop and to get better, we wouldn't be doing our job if like using last week's Dallas game from the things we made mistakes with or the things we did well. So it's just part of our process, and I know that doesn't make for great news, but it's just part of our process to learn and grow from our past experiences.
Attribute Jalen Hurts' improvement against the blitz, and did you add more built-in checkdowns to help with that this offseason?
No, we're pretty similar. I would say there's obviously always things that you grow in, as far as the scheme and everything like that. But he's done a good job just in total football this year of just continuing to get better. Last year he had an MVP type season. This year he's having another great season, and he's just growing in all areas. So, we're probably a little similar with wrinkles here and there as far as that goes, but that's also a team stat too, right? That's not just on Jalen. That's also on the guys protecting. That's also on the not just the offensive linemen, but the running backs, and then also the receivers and tight ends getting open in those scenarios.
Nick, this week said this game is personal for him. Having the confetti fall on him and the team that blocked him from winning a Super Bowl, is it personal for you?
Any week, you can turn any week in the NFL into, I'm going to get up for this one right here. Like, our job is to make sure it's mentally challenging, and you have to be mentally tough to get up for every game the same every single week. And we try to pride ourselves on being mentally tough. And I know, and I hear Jordan, I hear what he said on as far as that's personal. And you know what? The important thing is, if you look for any ways to find motivation, but it is important that each and every week you're locked in and have that mental toughness to go to work the same, whether you're playing Team A or the team that beat you in the Super Bowl last year. You got to have that mental toughness to go about your business that way. But if the motivation for Jordan is helping him, and he's not distracted by it, by all means use it. If the motivation is distracting to you, then don't use it. So for some guys, it's going to be we're going to treat every week the same and get ready just the same, just like I said last week going into the Cowboys game. But if you can use that for extra motivation, then go ahead. If it's distraction, then leave it aside.
Nick, what's the plan with Bradley Roby? What have you seen from him since he's been here, and what can he give you if he's healthy?
Yeah, I just think he's got a lot of experience, and he's sticky in coverage. He's smart. He's tough, and so if he's available, which we'll see, that'll be helpful for our football team. If not, he's just going to continue to work hard to get back on the field to help us going down the stretch.
When he's healthy, does he go right into the slot?
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that plays itself off. Obviously, we have practices to go through, see where everything is, and we've been happy with where what our guys have been doing. But yeah, we'll see how that all plays out. But we got a lot of confidence in Bradley.
If you talk about self-scouting, especially when you have these stretches like this where you have more time to devote to it, how would you evaluate how that went for you and what you've learned about your team so far?
Yeah, that's a very important part of the process is your self-scout, and spending that time to make sure that you're getting better from that. And so, you every week, depending on the week is going to change your process, right? So your process is going to change on a Monday night game. Your process is going to change going into the first game of the year, coming off of a bye, during a bye. And so, but all those things are very necessary. So, and you always are trying to improve your process. So we did a couple different things this year that we thought after, going through last year, like, maybe we should add this or maybe we should add that. We ended up having 2 byes last year, so we had a little extra time to practice our bye week process. So, but we worked hard during that time. We also took some time off to make sure that we were rested in that area as well. So, because I think both things are important. You can both being rested and taking some time off and working really hard, those both can be true, and they both need to be true in our bye week. And I think it was really productive. And you want to learn things about yourself, what you do well, what you don't do well, what you need to improve on, what weaknesses you can make strengths, and what strengths you can continue to be your strengths. And so there was a lot of study in that in every area that we possibly can look at. It's a daunting task, but very necessary in the process.
Couple weeks for you guys to figure out how to compensate for the loss of Dallas Goedert last year. How do you make sure that doesn't happen again?
What remind me of what the games were? Yeah.
You minute afterwards, it was an issue.
The which one?
Colts game.
And then.
Well, then the second, you did better.
The second. Okay.
First game was.
Yeah. Anytime you lose a player to Dallas Goedert's capabilities, you have to compensate, and you have to, again, like I said, it's never just one guy's responsibility to take all the brunt of that work. It'll be by committee. We just don't have another guy like Dallas Goedert sitting around, right? And so what you try to go through is, again, every game's different of how you go about, planning for that. Like, does a different personnel help you out? Well, some weeks it will and some weeks it won't. Does a certain player help you out? Well, some weeks it will, some weeks it won't. So everything's a little bit different. This week we're treating it as this week, and and how we're gonna plan without Dallas this week. And we'll miss him, no doubt. Have a lot of faith in the guys that have to step up in his absence. And you're right. Last year in the Colts game, we didn't. I wouldn't say, there's different reasons why you're not successful. And one of them is not having Dallas on the field. But we learned how to play without him and continued to improve, and it made us just better when he got back.
Last one. Through the first half, Jordan Davis has already exceeded his snap count from his rookie season. What have you noticed about his improved endurance and his ability to stay on the field?
Yeah, I think he's just worked really hard. I mean, to accomplish that, right? And so that how do you do that? You work hard with your diet, you work hard with your conditioning, you work hard with your weight, and being where you're supposed to be. And he's really busted his butt to make sure he's staying healthy and staying on the field, because we need him. And he understands that everybody's counting on him. And I think that what I know about Jordan and really appreciate about Jordan is that he wants to please. He wants to please his teammates. He wants to please the coaches. He wants to please the strength and conditioning staff. And that's what good teammates do. And so he's really busted his butt to work, because we need him on the field, because we know how good of a football player he is.
You got 2 minutes for walking.
Okay.